Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a traditional, homemade, authentic and delicious chicken karahi dish in double quick time. The video is not very long and you'll see that the whole process from start to finish takes about 40 minutes. So give it a go, let me know how you get on, post your pictures on my Facebook or Instagram page and make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel because I've got plenty more dishes on the way for you to taste and enjoy. Right, let's get to it then. So, first of all, the chicken karahi gets its name from the metal pan or pot in which it's cooked. A karahi is essentially similar to what is a wok. So it's something that's got curved edges on the end, and it just gives it that kind of flavour and taste. You can cook it in any normal pot that's got enough room for the amount that we're making, but if you've got a wok style pot in which you cook it, that would be perfect. In terms of ingredients and what you need, I've got about 700 grams of chicken on the bone, which has been cut into small pieces. This dish doesn't have any onions in it, it's a tomato base. So alongside the chicken, we've got about 5 or 6 tomatoes, about a small plate's worth will be fine. I've got 6 tomatoes here, which you put in whole, you can cut them in halves. I've just cut them into small quarters. How you do that is up to you. Depending on if you put them in whole or halves, you might have to take the skin off. I found that when we cook it like this, the kind of skin disintegrates because it's quite small anyway. But if you do use bigger sized tomatoes or you only cut them in halves, make sure you take the skin off once it's ready to come off in cooking. In terms of herb spices and whatnot, I've got 2 tablespoons of garlic and 2 teaspoons of garlic, 2 teaspoons of ginger. We've got some chilies. There's only 1 chili there that I've cut into small, chopped up finely. We've also got some chili powder, so I've only gone for 1 chili. Again, depending on how hot you like your food, you may not need to put that chili in because we have got chili powder in there as well. Small 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric just to add a little bit of colour. Cumin seeds here. You can, if you want to, use cumin powder, but we've got cumin seeds. About half a teaspoon of black pepper. We don't want a lot because obviously we've got the other spices. A teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon of ground coriander and a teaspoon of garam masala. All of these items you can buy at your local supermarkets. Now we tend to get ours from Asda or any local Asian supermarket store, but again, there's only small amounts of this. I will put everything you need in the comment section of YouTube, and I'll put a picture up telling you what you need as well. Alongside that, about half a cup of cooking oil, vegetable oil, sunflower, whatever oil it is you have at home will be fine, and just a little bit of water to add. And then at the end we've got just some some chilies just to splash on the top as a garnish, some sticks of ginger and also some coriander. So that there is your ingredients. Again, you will find people that will use different ingredients or add certain things, bay leaves, etc. Should have mentioned some cloves, just a couple there, not a lot, and a little bit of cinnamon or cassia bark, again just 2 or 3 small pieces, and that's everything that you need in terms of your ingredients. As said, this should be a fairly quick dish to cook. We are now on about 10 past 8. Yeah, just let's call it 10 past 8 for the sake of timing, and we're going to start cooking. Okay then, so let's get started. So first thing you want obviously is you want a high heat to begin with, high to medium heat depending on what sort of cooker you've got. What we're going to do first of all, obviously, put your pan on and then add in your oil. So half a cup of oil goes in. Given the size of the chicken, that should be suffice. We don't want lots and lots of oil. The chicken will release its own moisture as well. We've also got just a little bit of water if we need to add on at a later point. So what you're going to do is once the oil heats up, you're going to just add in the chicken and just cook it until it changes colour a little bit. Now you may need something to just cover your pot with. This wok doesn't obviously come with a lid, but I'm just going to use a makeshift lid in order to do that. So while the oil heats up, just to show you that I'm not kind of doing any tricks, so it's just gone past 10 past while we put it on, and hopefully this will be done in quick time. So oil's been in for a bit, it's heated up, so we're just going to slowly add the chicken and let it cook. Now it's important that you make sure the chicken is as dry as you can get it, otherwise you're going to get a lot of splashback and a lot of spitting from your pan. So put the chicken in, and then what you're going to do is just stir it and let it cook until it changes colour slightly. So I'm just going to let it cook a bit and change colour, and then we'll be back. Okay, so we're about 5 minutes into cooking, as you can see there, and what you're looking for essentially is just for the chicken to kind of change colour, so it goes from its pinkish colour to a bit more of a white colour. I've just turned it down a bit so the sizzle doesn't overpower my voice. You can see it's changed colour slightly. It's maybe a little bit better without the yellow light. It's changed colour, and then you're ready to kind of add your own bits on. So I've taken it off a high heat now. I'm just putting it on a medium heat as opposed to a high heat. Now, if you find, okay, I've still got plenty of oil in here, plus the juices that the chicken has released. If you find at this stage it's a little bit dry, then you can add water in. I'm not going to, because I don't think it needs it. What I am going to do is add my garlic and my ginger. Okay, so that's 2 teaspoons of garlic, 2 teaspoons of ginger. I'm going to stir that in, give it a minute, and then we'll add some of our other ingredients. Okay, so I've put the garlic and ginger in. I've given it a couple of minutes just to stir it in. It's smelling really, really nice. And all I'm going to do now is pretty much chuck everything else in at once. So you can do it bit by bit, but just to make it easier and keep it simple, I'm going to chuck everything in. Okay, so that's all of the ingredients I told you. We're going to chuck them in, stir them in, give it another couple of minutes. Okay, so we are now at 25 past 8. Again, in quick time, chicken has turned a really nice brown colour. The smell from the herbs and spices that we've added is absolutely divine. And we're ready to add the tomatoes. Now, in hindsight, I think I might have added a little bit too much oil for my liking. But don't forget, if it does start getting a little bit dry or sticking to your pan, just add a splash of water. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add our tomatoes, give it a good stir, and then we're going to cover it up. I've just got a makeshift lid that I've made that I'm just going to cover it up with now. It's a little bit difficult because I'm doing this on my own, to kind of stir and hold the camera at the same time. So what we're going to do is going to give it a stir, give it a minute, and then cover it up with a lid. So it's been just a minute. I've stirred the tomatoes in, given it a couple of minutes. Now what I'm going to do is just cover it up with a makeshift lid that I've got for my wok. I'm going to turn the heat down slightly. You want it on a bit of a medium heat, and you're just going to give it a bit of time to cook. So we started at 10 past 8 and now it's just before half past. So we've not been going for very long and the meal isn't far from being done. So lid on, give it a few minutes, keep stirring it occasionally. I'll be back to show you the final product. Right, so it's now 8:35. Just to show you the time, 8:35. So all I've done is for a couple of minutes with a lid on. I've just put a lid on just to let the steam cook the chicken through a little bit. Now we're going to take it off. Now at this stage, all you want to do is just keep giving it a nice stir, and you can see the tomato base is beginning to develop. You've got two options now. Some people will tend to leave it for a little bit longer, and then you've got a nice gravy base as well that you can use. I'm just going to cook it through a little bit just to get some excess moisture out, just dry it out a little bit. You will know when it's right for you. This is the beauty of this type of cooking. Try not to prod and poke the chicken too much because you might break the meat off the bones. But what you want to do is just make sure that you keep giving it a nice stir, just to cook it through. And then once you know it's right for you, your particular preference or taste, then you're done. You can obviously eat it with rice. You can get yourself some naans, some chapatis. We tend to. I think most typical Asian families will tend to eat this with some chapatis, but you can eat it however you want, really. The chicken is cooked all the way through now, but I'm going to leave it a little bit longer just so it gets to my taste and my preference, a little bit drier, and then it'll be ready to serve. So just nearing 8:40 for the sake of argument. Again, we've been cooking for not too long, less than 30 minutes almost, and it's nearly ready now to cook. And just so it happens, just as the food's ready to eat, in come the family. Say hello, Sharik.
Hello.
Say hello, Harris.
Hello.
Are you eating with the Xbox controller today?
Yeah.
Say hello, Isaac.
Hello.
Okay, so we're nearly done. Just remember, keep stirring, and then when you feel it. So, we're at just 9:15, let's call it. So, 35 minutes, okay? My chicken karahi is done. I've transferred it into a dish. Just going to add a little bit of garnish onto it. A little bit of ginger on top. Small bit of chilies. I've had a taste. It's a little bit maybe too spicy for my kids mainly. A little bit of that, spider chili, one chili that I've chopped up, and then just a tad bit of coriander on top to give it a nice garnish. And there you go. So from pot to dish, raw ingredients, everything in less than 40 minutes. That is your chicken karahi dish. So there we go, chicken karahi done in 40 minutes. Now that will feed me and my family, a family of 5, pretty much for the evening, and there'll be some left over no doubt for lunch tomorrow if the kids want some. There we have it, so 40 minutes done and dusted.